Hey everyone, thank you guys so much for joining me for another video. This is Living History Militaria, and today I'm going to be doing a paper lot update. I've got quite a few paper items in the past couple of weeks. More autographs, a cool scrapbook, a lot of pictures. So I also have some other stuff, but I'm waiting on some more solid things to come in before I do another update video on that. So in the meantime, we're going to do a paper video. So here we go. So I guess we'll start off right here. I went ahead and put these in some quick snap frames, and they look really nice. So I'm going to continue doing that with these style autographs right here. But this is the autograph of Rudolf Pingel, and you can read his story right here. He was a flying ace in the Luftwaffe. Nice picture there. And underneath him, we have the autograph of flying ace Hermann Neuhoff. And underneath him, we have the signature of Major Heinz Lange. You can see there, signed up there by his hat. Really cool. 70 aerial victories for Heinz, which is pretty crazy. Right over here next to that, I have an American signature here of Lieutenant, who eventually was Captain William R. Byer, World War II ace with 9 kills in his P-51 Mustang, 361st Fighter Group, in the 376 Fighter Group, 8th Army Air Force, 1944. Pretty cool, and it came with this picture of him. That's really cool. I need to get a small frame for this one, and I also need to get a frame for right here. This is Herbert, let's see, I don't know how to pronounce that, Ahlefield, maybe? Correct me if I'm wrong. But this is a really cool piece right here. It's got a lot of information. And you can read right here. 130 aerial victories. And this gives a little bit of information about the battle over the Channel in September of 1940. And I also got this awesome piece right here. This one's a little bit different because this is a Life magazine instead of just a regular photo or something like that. And this is signed by P-51 pilot and World War II flying ace Donald Blakesley. Which is interesting because on here is a picture of a P-47 Thunderbolt, and Mr. Blakesley actually had trouble getting controls of the P-47 Thunderbolt because he had flown with the Royal Canadian Air Force previously in 1939 and 1940, I believe. And he flew Spitfires with them, and then eventually transferred over to the 8th Army Air Force and convinced the higher-ups to let them fly P-51s because they were more used to those than the P-47 Thunderbolts. So, kind of interesting. This is not Mr. Blakesley up here, but this is his signature down here on a February 2nd, 1942 Life magazine issue covering a whole lot of aviation. There's a whole lot of different, plane spotter silhouettes and whatnot, and how to identify planes. So this is really cool. I would definitely recommend looking up Donald Blakesley. He has, I believe, like over 1,000 flying combat hours or something like that, and X amount of aerial victories, but very impressive record. And with the autographs, I got a couple of really cool freebies. Right here, we got a couple of German postage stamps, whatever you want to call them, postage receipts almost, parcels and whatnot. So these are always cool to collect. Got the stamps on them. And I also got this. This is really cool. This is a Air Training Corps Gazette, volume 4, number 1, January 1944, and belonged to somebody named Walters. So you can go through this, and it's all about joining and enlisting in the Army Training Corps and whatnot. So it's pretty cool. It's got a whole bunch of articles in here, a lot of pictures of all the planes and whatnot, diagrams. So this is a really cool item. I don't have something like this in my collection, so this was pretty cool. How far and fast they fall, and I think this is about the bombardiers and how you need to time your targets and whatnot. That's pretty cool. More pictures, noseworthy details. It's got a whole bunch of close-ups. This one's pretty cool too. A couple of ads. National saving stamps. So yeah, nice little freebies thrown in with a couple of the autographs. Always appreciative of those when they come in. And right here we got a whole bunch of pictures, and these are kind of special. These are mostly pictures. Got a lot of dogs here, so this is really cool. So, snapshot of 2 German officers with their German Shepherd in some sort of crater, and a matching picture. We got this guy right here with his German Shepherd, which looks like it's still a puppy, or very, very young. And here's a matching picture with that. So 2 guys. A good picture of him. He's still got the floppy ears. It's cute. Got 2 matching pictures here as well. Got a group of guys. Very snowy. Looks very cold. But the German Shepherd is in his element here. Right here, got a couple of guys taking a break with a muzzled German Shepherd. Here we got this guy with a large cigar standing in what looks like a backyard garden of some sort, and pretty big dog. And then we got these 2 cool photos here of a Luftwaffe soldier and his German Shepherd. I like those a lot. And got some more up here too. Got this guy right here, he's got binoculars. His German Shepherd. A couple of Luftwaffe men. Looks like a mix. Right here, this not sure if these are civilians, but they're definitely bundled up. Look at the foot wraps they have on. He's got a walking stick, and he's got his dog with him. I think, nope, that one doesn't have writing on the back of it. This one does, though. And this one is a group shot. Looks like they're in front of a train car. A couple of guys are inside the train car. And they're all sitting down. They got their dog in the front. And right here we got maybe some sort of barracks or something, training ground, and a looks like a Heer soldier, and his German Shepherd there. So the next couple of photos are kind of dismal. They show the reality of war. There is no human casualties. These are more livestock and farmland and whatnot, but still graphic nature, so viewer discretion is advised. Here we got a dead cow. Looks like it was hit with something rather big, probably artillery or something like that, shrapnel. Here we've got two graves with a couple. One has an Adrian helmet, two Adrian helmets, I believe, hanging from it on the left. Here we got a soldier walking through a destroyed town. This shows a small street with a couple of dead horses and wagons. I believe that these two actually go together. It's just taken from a different perspective. So you can see this cart is tipped the same way. So that leads me to believe that those two are related. Okay, I'm going to try and go through this. This part relatively quick. We'll definitely take a look inside the scrapbook. This whole thing, I got all of this for $40, which wasn't bad. This is a scrapbook that belonged to Dwight Summers Miller, and he lived in Millbrook, New York, which is upstate. Everything was tucked inside this. I took all the newspaper clippings out and anything that kind of stood out from regular scrapbook photos. But these are all kind of like home front during the 50s, post-war. Dwight was really into Angus farming. He had a huge Angus farm pre and post World War II. And there's a whole lot of information in here. A lot of these newspaper clippings, anything that isn't in the scrapbook, was pretty much farming related, except for a couple of things. We got the flag of the United States. This is 1943, little booklet. Got a picture, which might be Dwight. I can't remember. There's no information on it, but there's a press photo. There is a ration book belonging to a William Enos, it looks like, from Utica, New York. We got a little pamphlet right here. I think this is 1943 or 1944. But this is Dwight right here. This is him just after the war, I believe. This is pretty cool. This is sheet music. Battle Hymn of the Republic. This is dated 1943, I believe. But sheet music. Pretty cool. Let's see. Copyright 1943, right there. That was in there. A letter of recognition to Dwight S. Miller. And then underneath that was, it's almost like I thought it was a calendar, but it's the story of our flag, and it goes through and it's got pretty much like every variation of the U.S. flag and whatnot. Flags symbolize growth, how to display it, do's and don'ts, special rules, everything. So I thought it was a calendar, but turns out it is just a big ol' like a patriotic thing for the home front, designed right there. And everything right in here is all farm related. Everything. Whole bunch of newspaper clippings, pamphlets, newspaper like Life magazine ads and stuff like this, because this was their farm. right here. So, and these are from like the 60s. So if we uncover the scrapbook, we can get into some of his military career. So let's do that. Okay. First thing you come across is Joe Miller, because he went by Joe, supposedly, and John Baldwin. If you want, you can pause and read that. I have seen Florence. I have seen Pisa. American Red Cross stickers, which is pretty cool. And then there's this swimming pool at the Rest Center in Rome, built by Benito Mussolini. So really neat pictures. I'm not sure. I think he was in the Army Air Forces, if I remember correctly. And where he was stationed was occupied Italy. Let me see if I can. There we go. It's got a picture of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Looks like it says Bill Kirby of our 529 outfit. And then if you check this out, if I can get the glare off of it, I know it's terrible. I do apologize. He's got 3 pistols. He's got 3 1911s, one in the holster, one in his belt, and then he has one over here on the side. He's got 3 1911s, and he has 2 trench shotguns. So I just thought that was an awesome picture. Right down here, Street in Venice. Really beautiful. Colosseum in Rome, built in 75-80 AD, seated 87,000. So he's got a lot of pictures in here of the Jeep we took on a trip to Florence. Rich Rosberg and Joe. Let's see, 4-ton Diamond Beecher, TW something. Bob and I in Florence. Looking out my window at 529. I'm not sure what 529 is. I was in charge of the motor pool in the background. And a couple of friends. Here he is at a statue. Grubbing. And then on the back of this one, he's got all the different currencies. We used this in Germany, this in France, and this in Italy. Moose from West Virginia, Staley and Woody Windover in my outfit. Some of the boys. Scotty, John Falls, and Windover in Faggio, I think is where he was stationed. Bob, Rich, and Joe. This is kind of sombering. Whitey killed soon after picture was taken. Kind of sad. Could have been one of the last pictures that was ever taken of who they called Whitey. American Red Cross in Faggio. Moose up in there. This thing is just absolutely packed. Red Cross in Rome. The Arch of Titus in Rome. View south of Ligora, maybe? Olive trees, and then this one's cool. 17 GIs killed on their way home, all in one truck. It's kind of creepy. Faggio. Tom Kerr and Tony in Faggio. And look at the size difference between these guys. Pretty funny. Arch of Constantine in Rome. St. Peter's in Rome. Castle of St. Angelo. right on the Tiber River. And then these are all pictures of Sergeant Young's wedding in Stornata, Italy. So a whole bunch of wedding photos, like a military wedding. This one's kind of sad. It says kids trying to get into the reception. They were hungry. That one kind of brought the mood down a little when I was flipping through it. Let's see, Leaning Tower of Pisa again. Italian coonhound, so there's another dog picture. Looking across to Florence, where he stayed in Florence. Monastery in San Marco. Different places that he stayed in Fagio and Naples. Looking off the steps of St. Peter's in Rome. The old Florence, view from my window in Fagio. Stadium of Marbles in Rome. Bob Schultz and me. And he also went to Cornell. So these are his pictures of Cornell University. He's got right here, fall weekend 1949. A couple of guys at Cornell. Bob Fletcher of Michigan, rich with a suit he just bought, Fagio Main Street. 529 band Fagio, so I'm wondering if that's where the sheet music came from. Victor Emmanuel Monument in Rome. Boyd, Little, Barber, Joe. And a bunch of local kids. Now, this is where things got really interesting. Check this thing out. Sent to me by, looks like it says Upson, maybe? I can't read that. UP something ON, it looks like. This is a propaganda letter dropped by the 84th U.S. Infantry Division, the Rail Splitters, to the officers and men of the 183rd and 59th Volksgrenadier Divisions. You can read this, but it's basically describing their history and how the 84th persevered through. Now, this wasn't taped. This had come off already, so I didn't unstick it. But it flips over, and it says, your combat strength is 50 to 70 men. Ours is over 200. The following German divisions felt the might of our blows, and it gives all the list of the ones that they had fought and won against. What will your choice be? German prisoners of war fairly treated by us. Approach our outposts unarmed, web belt and helmet off, hands over your head. The password is I surrender. The Rail Splitters, 84th Infantry Division. Better be captured than killed. So, I'm not sure why it's in English if it was launched at the Volksgrenadier Divisions. But this is an amazing piece either way, and I was really surprised to find that in there. If anybody knows anything on that, please let me know. Got a couple more pictures in Italy here on some bikes. But right here, this picture, you can see they all have Army Air Corps, at least Joe on the left, on his shoulder. He's got, looks like the 1st Army Air Force, maybe? Possibly. A couple of pictures of some farms, too. And then, I can't remember, that might be it after that. But it was a really cool thing. Oh, there's one more thing in here. Here we go. Cornell University. I think that's when he graduated, was 1951. And there he is. This is pretty cool. You can read about that if you'd like. So he's got a little bit of everything in here. Cornell Livestock Judging Team, he was on that. National Block and Bridle Club certification, excuse me, certification. And then I think that's it for the scrapbook after that. Yes, but very cool. I love getting really personal items like this, and the guy gave me a really fair price on it. He said he bought it for $30, so he only wanted to make $10 off of it. So really happy to get that. But I want to thank you guys if you stuck around for the whole video, for bearing through it. I know it was kind of paper kind of can't be the most exciting thing at times, but there's a lot of history and there's a lot of information in all these paper items. Personal, you know, especially gives you a look into their personal lives, and I think that's something that can be appreciated. But thank you guys again for joining me for this video, and stay tuned because I have some more items coming in the mail actually, and we will have a little coverage on some newer items here in the future. So thank you guys, and we will see you in the next video.